Oh, there he is.
Now you can see the handsome man.
Now we can see the
The
handsome
old
man.
man, yeah. The old man and the handsome man.
Do you see him, Grace?
Eh.
You say
Hi,
I'll see
how are you? You don't see me now?
No, she said she wants to see the whole thing. What do you mean, baby? What do you mean by the whole thing?
the whole thing like last time.
Well, that's just how it's.
Yeah, you'll see. I'm standing in front of the chapel. You see the chapel?
You see it? That's a church back
Okay, now you can see the chapel.
there. You see it? Cool.
Hmm.
All right, sister. You want to say bye?
So, bye. Have a good day.
And she's off. Okay. Well, Paul,
Okay.
thank you so much for talking with me today. It's so good to see
Yes,
you.
me too. Me too.
Would you be able to tell us what Little Drops is, how it came to be?
Little Drops was started in 1991 by myself and a childhood friend of mine. Basically, because of a desire to be a part of God's work. And in my case, I had a difficult upbringing. I lost my father when I was in school. That is when I was about 11 years old, 11 or 12. And then it was a big, tough grind. We were seven of us at home. And, we had to walk to school both ways, good enough for lunch. So a lot of questions to God because my friends used to come in cars. And the answer to my prayer and to my question was God asking me to do my bit for the needy. And so, along with this childhood friend of mine, Selvaraj, we pulled in about 500 rupees. That is today's $7 or even less. We pulled that money and we started off this work. So initially, we wanted to start an orphanage, but then it so happened that we saw a lot of people dying on the streets. So we thought we should start an old age home or a home for destitutes. So with very, very little money and with a big dream, we set off, trusting in Jesus. And it became a reality because Mr. Selvaraj himself came forward to donate one small piece of land. We put up a small hut, and that's how the journey began.
Wow. And from that beginning, now how many shelters do you have and how many residents can you have at one time?
We are about 1,000 residents in about 10 shelters, and and we have more than 100 staff
Oh my,
assisting 100, maybe 110, 120. Also, we run two schools for the poor children in the villages where our homes are located. And those schools, prior to Corona, we had nearly 1,000 students. Now it's dropped to about 600 or 700. Uh, uh, so the idea is that we teach these children God's love, and they'll come to know the Lord, and this world will be a better place with these children who pass out of the school.
yeah, that's really incredible. Sometimes when we describe Little Drops and what the need is, it can be a little bit challenging, I think, for people living in the West to even fully picture like what the need is. So can you tell us a little bit about, like, when you said that you were originally going to do an orphanage and then you realized, that there was a large need for elderly, like, can you tell us what that looks like?
See, what happens is most of the elders abandoned because of their poor health. A fit elder is very rarely deserted by his family. What happens when they fall sick? They're a financial burden to the family who are themselves possibly struggling.
Mhm.
And apart from that, most of the families here in India have very small living space. So they find one more person in their house is too much.
Yeah.
So, and and or when they suffer from too much of a burden, and that's when they're discarded. Sometimes they're dropped off in front of temples, and sometimes in hospitals. We have had instances where the son or daughter has admitted them in government hospitals, never came back to, take them back after they recovered.
Wow.
They would give wrong addresses and just leave them there and go. There are many, many who are taken on a drive in a bus, 200, 300 miles away, and just dropped in one of the bus stands, and the children get back home. So it's a very, very sad story for elders in our country. In fact, I think the when we began the work, we thought 30 years is good time to have done a fairly good job. But then, as I look back now, 30 years, we hardly touched the tip of the iceberg. This world is busy leaving a trail behind, a
Mm.
trail of suffering, pain, loneliness, unwantedness, and it's very, very sad story. And I get calls from young people, physically challenged. In fact, this morning I had a call from one family where the mother died of corona, and this a mother meaning the wife, and then this husband is 74. They have one son, and that son has become mentally ill. So he beats up the father. So they're desperately calling us to come and rescue the father, otherwise he'll be killed by their own son. A thousand stories like this. Every day we have admissions of. You can hear me?
I can now. You were frozen for a
Uh,
long time.
No,
And
no,
then,
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I also don't know what to do on the screen. I use the old time phone, which
uh-huh.
probably came out in the 90s. You can see this is my phone. This
That's
this is my
impressive.
phone,
I love it.
and this is the only one I use. So I'm not familiar with WhatsApp and YouTube, and this is actually one of my staff's phone.
I
I
love
mean
it.
iPad. Okay.
It's so
So
personal. I
so
think you're
it's a very sad, yeah, it's a very sad life for so many people who were told indirectly you're living too long. Uh, Find a way to die or see if you can live somewhere else.
Mhm.
That's how it is.
Wow.
Mhm.
Could you? I remember one time you told me about the very first resident that you brought in. Do you remember that story of like the very first person that you brought in?
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
In fact, this person's name is Rahim. The problem is we had quite a few, 1, 2, 3, and then the order keeps, changing. There's a Muslim man by name Rahim, and we picked him up pretty late in the night, and we were shocked to find the sores on his body. The whole body was full of sores, and we realized we can't take him to the bed that condition, so we chose to give him a bath in a very dark place with a little bit of warm water,
Mhm.
and we are scrubbing soap all over him, and we realized he's bleeding. His sores were bleeding,
Wow.
and then the job was done, and then we did the dressing for him, and like the following day he spoke to us, gave us the address of his son who lived about 500 600 kilometers away
Uh-huh.
in a place called Andhra, and we posted a postcard, a small letter to him
Mhm.
asking him to come and fetch his father, and very sadly after 2 days he died.
Mm.
His name is Rahim. So 2 days later, he died,
Mm.
and we had made preparations for his bed, his food, his medicines, everything we had done. But we were just not prepared for a funeral. So we were running around looking for coffin,
Yeah.
we're looking for a burial ground, and it was one. What should I say? We really didn't know what to do. It's 2 in the afternoon when he died, and then we finally made a coffin by 8 in the night,
Mm.
and nobody was willing to carry the coffin to the shelter. So we found what we call a jatka. Jatka is a one small cart which is pulled by a horse.
Okay.
So this place where this coffin was made is about 8 kilometers away. So we put the coffin into that jatka, came here, came to the shelter. We put Rahim into the coffin. We said a Christian prayer. And then we went to a burial ground where we had to go ourselves and dig the grave. So we dug it ourselves, pitch dark, only moonlight. We dug and we finished at 10:30 or 11 in the night.
Oh
And
my.
then we got back. So that's the story of the first man. So many of them, we picked up another man who was in a bus stand. Like, I'd gone to see somebody in a hospital, and then there was pouring rain. Oh, I mean, it was raining heavily. So me and my then girlfriend, same girl I married, okay, we took shelter under a bus stand, and there we found one, like one blanket, like moving. And then I pulled the blanket to see what it was. I found one lady lying with cockroaches all around her, and one small vessel. That's the one which she would buy food and eat. So this was very close to this Rahim's thing. And then I took her into the hospital and asked them to take care of her. And I said, I'll be back to take her. But then it didn't happen. By the time I got back to the hospital,
Mhm.
somebody had put her in a bus and sent her away. Because government hospitals don't take care of destitutes because they don't have enough staff to, like take them to the toilet and things like that. So these are all early days when it was extremely difficult because it was new to us,
Yeah.
watching somebody, cleaning somebody, putting on the dress and stiff bones and frail bodies,
Yeah.
and it was very, 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 very difficult. But then as days went by, started getting used to it, and we realized this is how it's going to be. So today we feel so good that we were a blessing to the Rahims and the other lady. I don't even know her name, and we feel so proud.
I'm curious. I mean, you have been doing this for 30 years, and the amount of suffering, and I mean, really just you are like face to face with some of some of the deepest pain and almost cruelties that exist in the world. And how do you cope with that? How do you handle that and still maintain joy and hope and even that eternal perspective that you mentioned?
Yeah, what you said is true. Ultimately, what keeps us going is eternity. If eternity was not true, our job would have been almost impossible. So the hope that there will be, like this morning, I was reading the Bible. It said, "The just shall live by faith,"
Mhm.
and so I believe justice will be restored uh, to these destitutes who are with us, and God is going to make a glorious place for them. And knowing that, uh, we just go on. It becomes easy. Yeah. So uh, in prayer, when we kneel down, uh, gloomy as it looks, there's still hope because there's nothing he does not know. He knows everything. So we don't have to get wiser than him,
Yeah.
and try to be more sacrificial than him. So that keeps us going.
Yeah. There was I had put something on social media about the fact that I was doing this interview with you, and somebody asked me specifically to ask you how can we be praying for you? So I would love to know that. Like, are there specific ways that we can pray for you?
I pray that, I mean, there's so many prayer points, but the prayer should be that this work has to go on because efforts are being made in every field of humanity to excel, to do better, to like, to uh, live better lives. And unfortunately, in the process of what this is doing is leaving a big trail of people whose needs are increasing. So pray that that this divide doesn't get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Divide doesn't get bigger, and the zeal, in us should not die. Like that's the beauty about Christ. You don't retire, as you can make out. I'm old and bald and gray, but I haven't thought about retirement at all, and I feel fresh to, except when my knees pain or when I can't jump off as I used to. That's the only reminder of age.
Yeah.
Otherwise, age is just a number. So to keep the zeal going and to make sure that whoever follows us has the same zeal, they find meaning in this work, and they'll find purpose, they'll find direction, and somehow these people would otherwise uh, be in dearth of love would find God's love. So that's my request for all those to pray that the divide doesn't get bigger than this, the haves and the have-nots.
One thing that in the times that I've been able to come and visit, one thing that I think makes Little Drops so unique is the way that you know the residents and you love them and you honor them. And I just think that is just truly incredible. I was thinking about your daughter.
Rachel, I lost you.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Am I back?
Now you're okay. Now you're okay.
Okay. I was just saying, like, one thing I love about Little Drops and just your heart is the way you really honor these elders. You even in knowing that their death is coming, you help them to die with dignity and knowing that they're loved. And I was thinking about your daughter's wedding the other day and how I remember when I came to visit and you told me that the elders were going to get the seats of honor. And just that perspective alone is something that is rare and just truly beautiful to see and inspiring and convicting, just to see that perspective and the way that you love and honor out of like such a depth. So I've been so inspired by that in knowing you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I wondered two things. I would love to see you around a little bit, but also I wondered if you could quickly tell us about Mother Teresa coming to dedicate one of the homes.
Yeah, yes. Mother Teresa's planning to start Little Drops. I happened to get hold of a small booklet. It's a lot of quotes of Mother Teresa's. A lot of quotes, and one person had compiled it. Beautiful quotes, and one particular quote was about Mother Teresa saying how little drops makes a mighty ocean, but how the ocean would be poorer by the missing little drops. So that struck me, and that's how we gave the name Little Drops. So Mother Teresa, the words of Mother Teresa, Little Drops. So then as our work began, rather not began, we just going to start, we realized how it'd be wonderful to meet Mother Teresa and just let her know that we're trying to follow her footsteps in a very small way.
Yeah.
And when when I got the opportunity, it's a big story of how I met her. I was working at the airport, and then I picked her. I mean, I went to the cabin, inside the cabin, and took a bag and requested her to come to the shelter, and she agreed, and we had a journey to the shelter, and she's the one who inaugurated it many years ago. Then again, second time I called her, and she gladly come, because somewhere I read a truly great person is the one who makes others feel great. And then I knew, what makes Mother Teresa so different.
Mm.
So she came a second time and very humorous. I'll try and send you the small write-up she made on the day she came.
Nice.
And I had the pleasure of going for a funeral. The whole world had gathered. So I don't know. I shared a very special relationship with her. And I still remember I was working at the airport, and one day she lost a ticket. She travels free on our airline. But she still needs a ticket, but she had misplaced it. So she called me home. Can you imagine Mother Teresa calling me? I was so excited, and I was glad she lost the ticket because I could, sort of rescue her.
Yeah.
And so my manager immediately said, just give her the boarding card, she can fly. And so lovely moments with her, uh, time together, especially walking through the Aru Bridge to the aircraft, and nobody else could have access to her.
Yeah.
Those are all very special, very special. And you, after 30 years, I don't live here. I mean, I go back to my house. But after 30 years, I realized why Mother Teresa is revered the world over. She lived with him. She
Mm.
lived at the stench. She lived in places where there were unruly men. I don't know. I have no words. Why the world salutes her, because she's amazed. She's amazed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's really just like
Mhm.
incredible to hear, and just your relationship with her, I think speaks to your character and her character as well.
Yeah, yeah, sure. No, I mean, nobody can really measure what she's done, because now the one-to-one relationship she had. I'll just tell you one thing she said in the book, which really touched my life and is useful after 30 years.
Mm.
She picked up one man from a gutter in Calcutta, and this reporter goes and asks him, "How do you do that? How do you pick up a man from the gutter in the dark?" She said, "For me, that man is Christ, and we are the only two existing in the world at that moment." I don't know. I have no words. It needs an experience to say these words. She says that man in the gutter is Jesus. And at that moment, only two of us are existing, Jesus and Mother Teresa.
Oh,
And she says, so my work is not at all difficult. It's so easy. So I try to relate that in my work. Nowadays, I'm not able to spend time with the elders like I used to, but I try to tell myself it's very difficult. That man is Jesus. That woman is Jesus.
yeah.
And so then, the whole horizon, widens up, and then you know that. And then she said, "We're the only two," because if you notice, even in our lives, even if after an ordinary fall or when you trip, your immediate reaction is to see how many people have seen you. You know, that's a normal reaction. Even children, after a fall, the shame of it, no? I mean, you quickly look around to see who all have seen you. But
Mhm.
Mother Teresa says only me and him are there. So the whole world can laugh. They can say what they want. Doesn't matter. It's Jesus, and we're together. That's love.
Wow, those are incredible.
That is, because Rachel, now I'll walk you through the dome, one dome here. This
Okay.
circular building. Remember Haven? Haven?
Very much so. Yes.
Yeah.
Green
Okay. This is Haven,
straw.
and I'll show you the front. And I'm going to take you in. This is my favorite place because, as I told you last time, this is the only dome where nobody died of corona. Not a single person died of corona, and it's very well ventilated. I'm going to go in now. You can see some of the elders,
Okay.
and I'll show you the. Uh, uh, yeah, you can see that. Can you see that?
Yes.
Hello, Solana.
Hello.
Yeah. And you can see this person.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
ఇప్పుడు తల్లి కథ కై కథ కట్టి ఓకే ఓకే
Hi, what a beautiful smile.
యా அழகார் இந்த அம்மா தான் கட்டு முகம் தெரியாது அது கீழே இருக்கு
Hi.
யா Rachel, this is our garden.
Ah,
You remember?
yes.
You remember the Haven?
Yes.
This is the completed. You can see all the plants, the
Oh,
trees, and there's a mango tree here.
I love
And elders that don't have to go very far. There's a banana tree here.
Wow. I
You
love
see the huge, yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah.
it. So beautiful.
You can see the elders through
Yes.
the mesh.
Uh-huh.
They said they're all. I mean, we put up screen now because it's getting cold. Daytime it will be fully open,
Okay. Wow.
so it'll be just beautiful.
That is so nice. So Haven,
Yeah,
just to explain, it's a circle, right? A circle building, and then the
yeah, circular building. Yeah. Here, as I told you, very few deaths, and elders enjoy a relatively better health. And what is nice is they're close to nature. And daytime there'll be ducks, there'll be rabbits. This is a rabbit shed.
Oh,
You can make it.
yes.
Yeah, and then that. Yeah. So we'll have ducks and rabbits during the day.
Uh-huh.
So they'll all keep them company.
Oh, it's so nice. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is beautiful.
Yeah. In fact, I told them I mean, if I'm ever not able to walk, please put me in this dome.
Yeah, beautiful place. Could you just like stand back and
You meet. She's Mercy.
Mercy?
She's Mercy. She's
Hi,
a
how are
fine. She's a fine caretaker. You'd have seen her when she was here.
Okay.
பாருங்க, இதோ சொல்லுங்க.
Thank you.
She's asking you how you are.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How
She's asking how are you.
yes, I'm fine. How are
Yeah,
you?
she's fine. She's got two handsome sons.
Wow.
Yeah, and both of them asked Rachel to find nice girls for the sons from
Oh,
the US.
very well, it's nice to meet you, Mercy.
Yeah.
Paul,
So. Yeah.
could you?
Sorry, you have any more questions?
What?
Yeah, it's getting dark here.
Okay,
It's
before
getting dark here.
Haven,
Ah.
could you just turn the camera around so we can see maybe all of the elders at once? Not close
No,
up.
they can't. It's because it's circular. You
Okay.
can see. one నిమిషం. You can see there. It's a circular building,
Yeah,
so you can't see all.
everybody, but maybe just like yeah, so you can kind of get a feel.
Yeah. You can see only that much,
Yeah.
and then if you that's the maximum you can see.
Okay. That's wonderful. Thank you.
If it's a regular dome, you can see all.
Yes, right.
Uh,
That's good. I love to see Haven. I remember so
yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, but I came in a visit and you drew on a piece of paper and you
Correct.
told me about
I
your
remember.
Haven.
Yes,
And I
I
love
remember.
that it happened.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Mm.
Well, Paul, this has been so wonderful. I've loved getting to talk to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Is there
thank you.
anything else that you would like to share or would like to show before we go?
There's plenty to show. You've seen hardly 40 people. We have 10 times the strength here almost.
Could
With the
you
most, I don't,
show the outside of the buildings? We don't have to go in, but maybe just,
yeah, I will take you. I'll take you to a couple of dorms. You will see it. I mean, I have nothing much to say except being ever so grateful for Third Ladder team who have been too willing to help us in many ways, and but for the support that we received from Third Ladder and the team. In fact, I should be talking more about the team. Rachel, Jennifer, Naomi, I don't know. We'll have to get to heaven to find out what role you played in the history of Little Dots. So God will give you a good pat and say, "Well done, my servant." So you can see the dog. Can you see it?
yes.
It's not. I'll go to the other side. You
Okay.
can see slightly better than Deepika. Okay. I'll show you another dorm where elders are there. Can you see elders?
Yeah.
You can see that? Ah,
Well, like,
you can see them. No? Yeah, there are a few of them here.
okay.
Sorry, the dorms are a little dark. You can see that?
Yes, yes, that's
You
helpful.
can see that?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll try and show you. You haven't seen our kitchen which you made for us. It's a beautiful, beautiful kitchen. Okay. So this is the kitchen you made for us before Corona.
Yes, yes, I remember.
Beautiful kitchen, and we have a verse written on top. You can see in Tamil. It says, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth from the Lord." So yeah, this is a beautiful kitchen, spacious,
Hmm.
well lit, neat.
Oh,
And this is the dorm. Can you see the dorm in the backdrop?
yes. Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is the dorm.
Wow.
All the dorms, ground floor, first floor, they're all there.
And that's still the
So
key, right?
yeah, this is the shed, ambulance shed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I mean, lot of if you go down, lot of dorms, a lot of people, and only problem is it's getting a little late,
A little dark.
so the lights are not great
Right.
inside the dorms because it's they would have finished dinner now, and another 1 hour will be off to bed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many residents are there at this?
Here there'll be about 300.
That's right. Yeah.
300. Yeah.
Absolutely
Okay.
incredible, Paul.
Okay, Rachel, say hello to your hubby, and I'd love to.
My love to your family. Your
What,
lovely-
what, Rachel?
I just said, please give my love to your family as well.
Yeah, I will do.
Lovely
I'll-
wife. I'll see her again
I'll
next.
do that. Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you, Rachel. God bless.
So
God
much.
bless.
Bless you. Good to see
Yeah.
you. All. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye.